All right, so guys, we're out here. It is Monday, June 24th, and we're at the new lease we picked up last year. We're on basically a hillside, but there's a heavy trail that runs right along the edge. And then, of course, we walk down here with you. We got this feeder set up. You can see how heavy this trail is. It runs right along the edge, feeder. We're gonna put a mineral site over there. We'll talk about that in a minute. Then we have down to the creek. And of course, I hunted on that little shelf last year. See a couple of good deer. So these deer worked their way up from the bottom and then out to there and then out to the crop field. Entice them to come up here more often with this little setup. I was about to say, what is that? But that's from the four-wheeler. Yeah. Or couldn't figure out how to load the feeder because about flipped the four-wheeler over. Well, I did. Matt was just gonna stand there and watch it. Bye. Oh, all right, let's go find a couple places for these cameras and figure out a good spot for that mineral site. I think that mineral right up there next to that little natural runoff.
You want to, yeah.
Not where it goes in it, but
right.
Stay tuned. So we got the Trophy Rock 465, and we'll bring that up. It's a good starter. Instead of just the rock, you bring that in, really get it in the ground faster, gets them coming to the area faster, and then start throwing rocks in after that. So as you can see here, oh, sorry, the sun. There's another heavy trail. Right down there's a feeder with a trail that runs right along that ridge. And then this is about as flat of an area off of this field we're gonna get. So I think, Matt, we're gonna hook it up, put it right here. I'm gonna dig that out a little bit and we'll get it going. That's one of them high quality trees right there. Of course, I forgot my rake, which makes this job a lot easier. All right, so we got our mineral site put in, as you can see. Scraped away all the foliage and vegetation, got it right on the ground, so that'll soak into the ground real quick. Trophy Rock 465, right off the edge of this heavy trail. And then, hey, there's Matthew.
Hey, how you doing, everyone?
Got a heavy trail that runs right off this ridge. Of course, you got the feeder right off of that. And then you've got the trail that goes down the ridge and then continues all the way around. And then we're only about, I don't know, maybe 40 yards off of the field.
Roughly.
So I'm seriously thinking, man, like that tree right there.
Right here?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a good solid tree. Give me shooting opportunity on the field. I can watch all of this and anything coming. So we basically got three trails that intersect here. I think it'd be a good little setup.
Yeah, I think you're right.
We're gonna get some cameras out and let them run for 3 or 4 weeks, see what kind of intel we get, and
stay tuned.
Go from there. Stay tuned. All right, guys, so first and foremost, we've got the ultimate camera mounts here. And again, the reason why I love it, man, you can throw 10 of those in your bag. You don't even know they're there. Very lightweight. Use these for years. They get the job done, but as you can see, they rust. And so they either basically freeze up on you, or it winds up getting loose and a squirrel sit up there and it'll wind up flipping the thing over. So as you can see, also really hard to get a wrench in there to tighten that up in the field. So it winds up getting loose, and it has to stay that way for the most part unless you come back with the right wrenches with you. So ultimate camera mounts, they're light, effective, and I can pack a bunch of them at one time. So got several cameras with us, so we're going to start getting the batteries in those, put the memory cards in them, and start placing them. So stay tuned. So we got the ultimate camera mount mounted, screwed into the tree. Again, Matt, if you want to come around here and show them, you got the wing nut. The wing nut, it's very imperative that it stays to the left, not to the right, because what it's going to do, as you put that pressure on there and then pull forward, it locks itself in place. If it's over here, you never get that torque. So in order, all you gotta do is fix it, click back, and your wing nut's loose. So I'm just gonna mount this. So for this one, we got the old Bushnell. So I'm gonna turn that right till it stops. Fasten that wing nut up, and then tighten it down. Step back. So basically what I did is I tightened that wing nut down and then just pull it in place. Am I straight, Matt?
Looks like you're dead on.
Dead on. All right, so one of the best things about this is, again, a squirrel, a raccoon, or whatever can perch up there. This thing ain't going nowhere. It's gonna be in the same spot when I come back and check it. It's not touching the tree in any way. So the bugs and stuff aren't coming off the tree and getting into the camera itself, causing damage. So all in all, it's a good setup, very lightweight, efficient way to get your trail cameras mounted. So stay tuned, we're gonna get some more set up. All right guys, so unfortunately, these cameras here, Wild Innovations, don't have the port to use a mount. So your only option is to use a strap. They're pretty decent cameras, but I don't like the fact that I have to use a strap. Where I've got this set up, pointing back at the feeder, I don't really need to put a stick in here, but typically you're gonna you would put a stick in there, something to get your angle. But all that right there is gonna wind up holding bugs, holding moisture, and just the potential to rot. It's gonna,
And hurting.
yeah, and hurting the tree, hurting the camera, right? That moisture and everything. Bugs are going to want to get in here, and then they're going to eventually want to work their way in to get themselves inside that camera, and then it'll eventually render it useless. So I don't like the configuration of having to use a strap, but for those, I picked them up cheap, and we're going to go with it. There's a bed right there. It's got hair in it. Nah, we're just doing a little scouting and see if we can't come across any sheds. Didn't do much shed hunting out here. I came out here once, but that was a little early. Here's a buck print right here. Just cruising through, see what we got. Hopefully no snakes. All right, guys, it is the last day of June and we are back at it. It is about 96 degrees out. It feels like it's 120, especially with everything we're doing. But we finally got some time off yesterday and got out to the lake. Matt and his family got to come out with us. We also got our new pup out, and Trooper, got him acclimated to the water for the first time, so that was really fun. But just a great day to just kind of relax and do nothing. Guys, between work and always hunting, we don't have a lot of time off here at Deer 30, so we really do cherish those moments that we get to just kind of sit back and enjoy our families and take a break. So as you can tell, we're right back at it today, Sunday, back out at the new lease that we picked up last year. If you remember on last episode, we came out, we brought the feeder, brought a bunch of cameras, dispersed them all around here. So we're going to do some card pulls today. It's been a little over a week. Really excited to see what we have. And then we're also going to hang a stand. So got a lot of work to do. Keep hanging in there, and hopefully we have some good potential bucks that we might be adding to the list this season. Stay tuned. Well, that definitely wasn't here a week ago. So exciting to see the deer definitely over here. And we're just, I don't know, 20 yards from that camera and that mineral site. So let's get over and pull that card. All right, guys, so I know I always talk about the ultimate camera mount, but this has been running for over a week. I'm sure there's been squirrels and raccoons and whatnot on it, but as you can see, the camera's in the exact same place as it was when I left it. So that's why I use the ultimate camera mount. They're light, they're easy to pack around, and when you put them on a tree, it keeps that camera exactly where you want it. So keep hanging in there. All right, everybody, so got another camera here. Getting ready to check that. That's facing back directly to that feeder right there. Hopefully it's in frame. But I haven't named this lease yet, and I think we're going to call it the Big Drop lease. The reason why is, hold on, let me turn this around, is this, like the whole back of this property, there's this huge drop, and then it just keeps getting larger and larger. It's in the back, you're probably at least 250 foot straight bluff. It drops right into a big, beautiful open bottom. So I think we're going to call it the Big Drop lease, and then hopefully we might have some big drop time bucks on here. The cool part is when I was in the shed season, if you remember, I found the biggest deer track that I've ever found in my entire life. This thing was bigger than my hand, and man, I'm hoping that that buck made it up on one of these cameras, or will eventually show back up and he made it through the season. So let's check these memory cards, keep our fingers crossed. Stay tuned. All right, everybody, so just another piece of advice. Like me, I carry one of these little memory card holders. But when you're out changing memory cards, and I know it might seem redundant or whatever to a lot of people, but I've made the mistake before by taking the memory card out and throwing it back in, and then it gets jostled around. You don't remember which one was what. So always keep your pulled cards away from your replaced cards until you get them checked and delete it and everything. The last thing you want to do is get it all mixed up, and then you're going through 20 memory cards trying to figure out which ones were the ones that had your pictures on it. So keep your pulled cards. I always just put mine in my pocket until I get back to the truck or whatever, and then I take them and put them in the, somewhere separate from, the fresh cards. So just a piece of advice. So as you can see, there was a good pile right there, and that's pretty much been devoured. Really the only thing you're seeing, I mean, there's some crushed stuff, but where it just dispensed today at 1 o'clock. But look how just tore up everything is all through here, where they're just picking through and eating on that corn. So they have found the corn, or they have found the feeder, and this trail is twice as heavy as it was whenever we came in and placed this feeder here. Matter of fact, there's even a fresh bed right here where they've come in and just, I guess, got so fat and tired from eating that they just decided to take a nap. So but we've got corn shooting all the way, I mean, as you can see, all the way over here. I mean, heck, that's 10 plus yards from the feeder, and they've just tore this whole hillside up going after that corn. So it's working. Now let's hope we got some good pictures. All right, everybody, it is hot, but I got everything done. I got the cards pulled from all the cameras out here. I got this tree stand over my right shoulder hung. And the reason why I placed it there, one, it's in this V tree, and I love V trees because that other tree gives me all kinds of opportunities for, hanging my cameras and things like that. But most importantly, I'm about 40 yards off from that feeder and only 10 yards off from that ag field. So it basically gives me a dual purpose. So those deer, especially the bucks, are not going to typically be out in that ag field in daylight hours. They're going to be on heavy trails like this, about 15 to 30 yards off of the ag field. It's basically like a staging area prior to dark, and then they'll work their way out. So I can catch them coming to feed from bedding here at this basically staging area back in the woods, about 40 yards off the ag field. Then I also, for a morning sit, we've got them coming off of the ag field back into bedding, and then they'll hit this, hopefully hit this feeder or mineral on their way back down to their bedding. So all in all, I think it's a great dual purpose setup, morning and evening. And then I'll probably come out here and get another stand hung for a cameraman, because that's just a single seater. But all in all, we got this one done. Let's go check those cards, and then we're gonna head out to the other lease. Keep hanging in there. Well, was a pretty good day until I got out to the farm. As you can see, the feeder's still behind me, but about 20 yards away, there was a plot pod with a brand new MEYER trail camera, along with another plot pod and another MEYER trail camera sitting on another one out in the field, and both have been stolen. This is private property, but stuff continues to come up missing out here. And I got several more cameras that I can see one. I know one, I passed two actually. So I'm gonna go pull the cards on those and see if we can't find the culprit of who thought that they needed my hard-earned money gear more than I did. So I'm just gonna be honest with you, man. There's nothing worse than a thief, man. I mean, if you need it more than me, that's fine. Just go to work and get it. Or ask me. I mean, hell, ask me for it. I'll give it to you. Don't come out and steal it though. Jeez. Freaking useless. So anyway, let's see if we can catch them. All right, you low-life scum. I got you. You ain't dealing with no amateur here. You might have gotten a couple of my cameras and my plot pods, but you didn't get the other ones. So I got your picture. And the best thing I can do is to tell you is to put my stuff back the way you found it. I give you 2 weeks, or the law's gonna come see you. So it's the best thing I know, man. I don't understand why people need to go steal. Like, man, just freaking talk to me. If you need it that bad, heck, I would have given it to you. But the fact that you stole it, now I'm coming for you. Mark my words. All right, now that I got that out of my system, unfortunately, we don't have any big bucks to talk about. Out there at the new lease, at the hill drop, or whatever I decided to call it. I don't know. Guys, I can't even think straight. I don't even know how to close this thing out. I'm so frustrated. But out there, all I got was a bunch of does and a bunch of raccoons out at the feeder. So the big bucks haven't found that spot yet, and who knows, maybe that'll turn into just I mean, as long as I got does, we'll definitely have bucks. It just might be more of a rut situation. But went out, and what I did get, the cameras that I did get that didn't get stolen, I have no big bucks to talk about this time either. So all in all, guys, at the end of the day, do it the right way. Don't steal other people's stuff, and we got to respect each other, man. I mean, crap, we're all out here trying to do the same thing. We're all out here trying to enjoy the outdoors. Just like I said, if you need it that bad, just talk to me. I would have given it to you. Just don't steal. But either way, at the end of the day, guys, I'm gonna wrap this one up. And as always, wake up and hunt. Even if people steal your stuff, just get up and do it. Until next time, keep tuning in.